This is where the nerve center of all of this firefighting effort has been. I'll draw your attention behind me here to the Gordon Volunteer Fire Department. We've seen many trucks come in here throughout the course of the day. I want to walk around a little bit, show you what we're seeing. Come on over here. You can already see it's piling up on this car right here. Yes, this is that wet, thick snow that's falling across our area right now. Yeah, Chris, good evening. Police do indeed tell us this was a high-speed chase that happened here tonight. It all ended, of course, at the culvers that you see behind me here on Brackett Avenue in Eau Claire. We did talk with former Governor Tommy Thompson a little bit ago as well. He said he expected Walker to win tonight, but did not expect those results to come in as fast. I want to show you this igloo that I've been making here over the past hour. I really pride myself on my igloo making skills because this is no igloo like you'll see anywhere else probably in the Chippewa Valley or the country. I've even included a little billboard on top for us. This is very familiar. The Wisconsin winter tomorrow morning. The big story is going to be getting that ice off the cars. This one's been out here for several hours today. This car in our parking lot has it even worse, the type of ice that you don't want. The numbers do not lie. We have surpassed $4 a gallon for gas here in Menominee. In fact, take a look at the station you see behind me. Super America on Stout Road registering in at $4.24 a gallon. You can still see the tire marks from where that snowplow accident happened yesterday. The person I talked to said his car actually came up here in the snowbank. His girlfriend's car was actually pushed about 40 feet down the road. Now, both of those people live here in this apartment complex. They say when they looked out the window, they were completely shocked to see their cars all smashed up. Now, guys, I was also curious, how do you calculate that $9 million that Michael was talking about? I asked him about that. He says it's the standard formula used in the tourism industry for cities our size. We've got 25 inches of ice below us as we measured earlier today. And you know, as these temperatures warm up, it's good for all of us. But for folks that like to come out here, do a little fishing, it means paying more attention. Chris, good evening. Investigators are still here on the scene. In the past couple hours, we've been seeing them taking measurements, although they have not given us any new information tonight. We did track down the name of the person who owns this house. He tells us he rents it out to people, is aware of the situation, but did not want to comment further. Now, earlier I did talk with a neighbor as well, who says he is still trying to wrap his mind around everything that's been happening here today. Investigators spent hours at this home on 10th Street West in Altoona, looking into what Altoona Police Chief James Small is calling a suspicious death. Police began taping off the yard around 4 o'clock, about the time the Sheriff's Department and the DCI investigators started arriving. They spent a lot of time this afternoon around this shed at the home. Meanwhile, Thomas Beck, who lives next door, was home as everything unfolded.
I haven't never had any problems with them. They're quiet, they're sociable.
He says he didn't know the people next door that well, just talked to them every now and then. He remembers being in his garage today and hearing someone yell, but saying it didn't sound like it was something out of the ordinary.
As I went back in a few minutes later, that's when I seen all the lights and that. And I says, "Oh, what the heck's going on?" So I really didn't know what was going on.
Tonight, he says it's still strange to see the crime scene tape next door.
It's shocking to me since I don't know what time this supposedly happened, and I was outside all day.
Even more puzzling, Beck says, why he didn't hear or see anything happen.
I don't know what time it happened. Did I miss this and I hear something that I should have heard? And that's going through my mind. Was it a little earlier this morning?
And it's the type of moment where he wishes there was something he could do right now, but says he will be there to help when the time is right.
I hope my neighbors can take care of themselves and they'll be okay. I know it's got to be hard on them.
Okay.
But if there was something I could do for them, or I would do my best what I could do for them.
Now, the police chief says we could learn more details tomorrow. As soon as we get any new information, we'll bring it to you on air and right away on WEAU.com. Live in Altoona, Kevin Hurd, WEAU 13 News. Chris and Sarah, good evening. You can still see the tire marks from where that snowplow accident happened yesterday. The person I talked to said his car actually came up here in the snowbank. His girlfriend's car was actually pushed about 40 feet down the road. Now, both of those people live here in this apartment complex. They say when they looked out the window, they were completely shocked to see their cars all smashed up.
I was parked right by this area here.
Imagine for a moment sitting in your house, your car on the street. You look out the window and see it intact one moment and in pieces the next.
My car had been pushed completely sideways up to this pole.
Ryan Williamson and his girlfriend were home when a plow smashed into their cars yesterday. They remember hearing a loud thud moments before it all happened.
I made a joke that I thought the plow hit my apartment.
A simple sound suddenly became a big deal.
We're currently investigating this accident.
Eau Claire Assistant City Manager Dale Peters says the city is trying to determine what caused the snowplow driver to smash into the cars.
We have no reason to believe that drugs or alcohol were a contributing factor. However, as standard procedure, we do conduct a drug and alcohol test post-accident.
According to the police report, a witness says the snowplow driver hit both cars, got hung up in the snowbank, and when he was free, drove off and continued plowing. Police were able to get the driver back to the scene where they described him as confused and disoriented, not remembering the accident. The officer ended the report by saying he felt the driver had experienced some medical issues causing the crash.
We've reported the accident to our insurance company, and we'll be working with the owners of both vehicles to either replace the cars or to repair the damage.
And so now Williamson and his girlfriend are waiting to see a check, at the same time counting their blessings, knowing things could have been much worse.
For the type of situation where you have a truck hitting the cars that are in plain sight, you're just happy no one was in them, so that's good.
Williamson says the insurance companies are currently looking at the cars and they should have some answers in the next couple days. As for right now, they are out of cars, but another irony in all of this, where we're standing right now is actually also a bus stop. Live in Eau Claire, Kevin Hurd, WEAU 13 News.
Coob.
You've heard the word.
Coop.
4 letters that at one time probably didn't mean anything, now part of Eau Claire's identity.
And the school district has put it into the Phi Ed program, so 4th and 5th graders throughout Eau Claire learn Coob.
At tonight's concert in Phoenix Park, Coob was one of Visit Eau Claire's main attractions.
And it's a fun outdoor summer activity.
The sport that took over a chunk of Phoenix Park tonight, this weekend, will take over the soccer fields, bringing in more than 300 players for the national tournament.
Coob has become one of the things that we use to identify ourselves as different.
And at the same time, it's become a big money maker for businesses. Michael Struble says he's expecting the tournament to bring in $120,000 into area shops.
The largest spending for travelers is lodging, but then a close second is retail and restaurants and attractions.
Of the 88 teams he says are signed up, 50 are from outside the area from as far away as Arizona. So just how do you play the game that some are traveling hundreds, if not thousands of miles to play? Even I've never played a game of Coob before, but tonight got my first lesson on it here at Phoenix Park. Players in Phoenix Park compared it to a game of pool on the ground. Knock down your Coobs with the batons and then go for the king, which is like an 8-ball. And just like a game of pool, you can take it as seriously as a tournament or play it simple.
It's just a really fun, maybe an alternative to bocce ball or summer volleyball, something a little more laid back.
Tournament play starts at 9 a.m. Saturday morning at the soccer park. Kevin Hurd, WEAU 13 News. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kevin Hurd. It sure feels like October outside. Cool temps, clouds, and some rain have been hanging around all day, and it's not over yet. Let's head straight to Fox's meteorologist Matt Hoffman to see what we can expect for the rest of the evening. Hey, Matt. 2 men are under arrest and 1 woman dead after a fight at a bar overnight. Deputies got the call at about 2:30 this morning to Staples Bar, about 10 miles west of Cumberland. We have more information about a fire that broke out at a home in Ladysmith yesterday. Fire Chief Dave Tuma told us today they've determined it was a tabletop magnifying glass on a screened-in porch that started it. We'll talk about getting in deep trouble. An Ohio woman rescued after her car is sucked into a sinkhole. Fire crews helped the woman out with a ladder and took her to the hospital as a precaution. Well, it is a Pinterest night, and we know since the weather is going to be heating up, so will your grills. So we found some grill recipes to pin for you tonight. Let's take a look at the ideas. How about a cheese-stuffed, bacon-wrapped hot dog to mix things up? Well, it only happens once a decade. The state of Minnesota auctioning off unclaimed items from safety deposit boxes. Fox's Karen Scullin reports. It's going to say near 90. Got my parents in town. My mama does not like the heat.
No, what you gotta find a lake or river or something. But
something
yeah.
to get away from it.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly.
Thanks very much, Matt.
Yep.
Appreciate it. It'll also feature flatbread sandwiches along with chicken and rice bowls. And boy, I'm getting a little bit hungry right now. Coming up next in sports, Jen Chapman has highlights from the Brewers, Twins, and PGA Tour, plus highlights from the Predators and Express. And the Chapel of Love at the Mall of America will have its first same-sex wedding the minute gay marriage becomes legal in Minnesota. A same-sex couple is scheduled to be wed at the chapel at 12:01 a.m. on Thursday, August 1st. And coming up, it is nice when our wishes come true. And today, a little boy from Grantsburg got a very special wish granted. And imagine paying for just the channels you like to watch. Hopefully WEA is one of them, Matt will agree. New legislation might make that possible. That's coming up. Here we go tonight. The entire community of Hudsonville, Michigan is looking to set a world record this weekend. They've set up a huge salad bar, and that's an understatement, stretching almost 700 feet long. All the lettuce, cabbage, carrots, and peppers were said to weigh, get this guys, almost 5,000 pounds.